Hello and welcome to the Glesga podcast, sponsored by Dragon Soup. Coming up this week, when you come to my house, it's a bit like Halloween because I pretend I'm not in.
Aye, I know. I saw your face up at the window. I thought it was a fucking pumpkin. You a walloper.
What about ducking for apples?
We used to duck for chips. We'd have the chip fired up. Don't duck for chips. It's a joke. Cans of ginger.
You don't get cans of ginger trick or treating, man.
There's a can of ginger, a can of iron brew.
It's not a meal deal, man.
Right, no, there's a can of iron brew and a horn for your sweeties.
And all that's still to come, but this week we're talking about everything Halloween.
Halloween, alright. I see you're dressed up as a middle class loser. Right, that's good for your Halloween. Halloween, is that still a thing? It's a very curious thing. I mean, nobody comes to my door now. Why is that? They used to come to the door, but they don't come to my door now. Is the neighbours all talking about me? Don't go to his door, whatever. But don't get me wrong, I've never got anything in. I mean, if the Weans come to my door, here's a bottle of Moretti, I don't get anything in. Right, so well, sometimes I go out, so I don't know if they've chapped the door. But do you need to invite them? Do you need to hang a ghost outside or an effigy of you, somebody that's dead, outside your door? Do you need to do that? What happens?
Well, I think you've got to put like a pumpkin outside or something.
You've got to put a pumpkin outside?
Aye. Yeah. We just got a pumpkin. We paid, it was £50.
£50 for a pumpkin?
Well, basically,
I think you've just been pumped for your pumpkin. £50?
So it was for me, Morgan and Hannah. We went to a pumpkin picking field, a farmer's field, and they drive you up my tractor to a pumpkin patch, but they buy the
50 quid for a hurl on a tractor?
They buy the pumpkins in. They don't grow the pumpkins. And then you pick your pumpkin, then you pay for the bag to put it in. And then they've got 3 holes that they see if it fits in the hole.
What do you mean? Is it already... I mean, I've never... That's an American thing. Right. I don't ever remember some hot pumpkin action happening. Right. When I was a wee. Do you remember that? Right. I don't remember ever... I didn't even know what a pumpkin was. Right. So it was an American thing. These, what do you call them, jack-o'-lanterns or something? So you make teeth and all that and get eyes and a nose and fucking put a candle inside it or some bollocks. Right. That never happened when I was away. Never happened. A pumpkin, is that a fruit?
Aye.
Well, we never ate fruit for a start. Right. So the idea of a pumpkin, right, was never... So that's one of these Americanisations that came out. Basically what would happen is, when I was a boy, and by the way, we all lived in flats, right? Nobody lived in a house. We all lived... My world was everybody lived in flats. So you've got 6 families up the one close, so you chap 6 doors. And you want to go, trick or treat, you say, ain't for Halloween. You're just going round the doors begging, and all you've got is a carrier bag. You're getting for Halloween. And if you were lucky, right, they gave you 2 bob or something, right? And you'd make a bit of money as well. And they go, here's an apple, here's some sweeties, brilliant. Here's a Mars bar or something. And you got guys in. Now, that was when you were, pre the age of 10. Then when you get out of the age of about 12, you didn't really go out for Halloween. You went out mugging. And what you'd simply do is go, I can't be bothered going around the doors. You would just... I never done this personally. I knew people that done this. And you would just steal the bag off Weans. Terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I'm not condoning this at all. It's awful. Awful. Right. But, well, around where I grew up, you would just go, come in with 4 bags. You've done well tonight. Aye, not bad. Just mugged 4 Weans. Took their bag of stuff off them. Terrible. Absolutely disgusting.
Do you think it's mad that folk used to go into folks' houses just as Weans when nobody else there?
Well, this was in the days before, it was a more innocent time, wasn't it? It was a more innocent time. Who knows what was going on? But Weans would go to a stranger's door and go, again for Halloween. Well, it just so happens I have. Come in.
Get the sweeties out. I mean, bribing kids in with sweeties. I mean, that's
Bribing
just...
kids in with sweeties. I know. And unbelievable.
But some people
But
don't...
now they bribe them in with a pumpkin. Because if you're saying you need to put a pumpkin on your doorstep or something, and then they go, he's up for it. I mean, he's up for Halloween. Give you something for Halloween then. It's the same thing, innit? But don't the parents get in with the Weans now? Is that what happens?
Aye, I think the parents do.
I think in these
'Cause
very safety-conscious times,
I thought you were going to say you could steal more bags if you're the big person.
it's not the same. In the old days, you know, you're 5 and 6 getting in the doors and nobody bothered.
Nobody comes to my door, it's great.
Well, you live in the middle of the country. You live in the middle of nowhere.
Right at the end of the street as
No,
well.
you do. You live right at the end. I mean, does anybody... But you've got the gates and all. Your gates are shut.
I shut them at night. Well, shut them on Halloween. But I think, because if somebody comes to the front door, I know it's no somebody I know.
If somebody comes to the front door.
Aye, because everybody knows to go to the
But
back
there's
door.
nothing at your back door. But your back door's just open country.
No,
So
but
if somebody comes to your back door, who is it? An assassin or something? A fucking ninja? What are you talking about?
But folk that family and friends know to come at the back door. I don't open the front
I don't
door.
know to come to your back door. I always come to your front door.
Aye, but you're no wanted. No, I think
But you believe that?
no people.
You believe that? Fucking boot your back door in anywhere your pish.
I mean, it's a bit when you come to my house. It's a bit like Halloween because I pretend I'm not in.
Aye, I know. I saw your face up at the window. I thought it was a fucking pumpkin. You a walloper.
People save money and don't use a pumpkin though, because a turnip's about an eighth of the price. Folk use turnips.
But turnips are solid.
Aye, but you can get it out.
You can get it out.
No,
right.
like-
And then what do you do with your turnip once you've got it out? What are you talking about?
Well, that's something folk do with pumpkins. They don't just put candles inside them.
You're having sex with fruit now? What's wrong with you?
No, but folk do that.
Do what?
They pump a pumpkin
Oh, come on. Maybe where you live down in bigger. Yeah, deviant.
because it's got the face on it. No.
Right. Now, a turnip, right, a turnip's tiny. A pumpkin's massive. How you meant to see a turnip? So you make a face with a turnip, like a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, and then you'd scrape it all out and put a candle in it. And then
That's a lot of hard work. Have you ever worked with a turnip?
no, personally.
See, you don't know about turnips. See, you don't know anything, right? It's your couscous and all that, you weirdoid, right? Right, turnips are solid. How do you make it soft? You put it in a microwave. But as you know, I've not got a microwave. Right, so I need to batter it with a hammer for a fortnight, right? You put it in a microwave and it softens it, and then you scoop it out, and then you make a wee face, and then put it up at the window, and people say, right, is the Weans looking well? Is she? Has she been to the heat shrinker? Right.
Now, remember in the comments, let us know where you're listening or watching our podcast from, as we'd love to give you all a shout out. So if you're listening in Dubai, Australia, or Possil,
And what's the weirdest thing you've ever been given at a door when you've been out for your Halloween? I bet there's been some weird stuff. I bet that some Waynes went to somebody's door and somebody's given them a Debbie Gibson CD or something mental like that. So what's the weirdest thing you've ever been given at somebody's door?
yeah. And if you need to contact Breathing Space, you can do it. Monkey nuts.
Monkey nuts.
You get
well,
them.
peanuts. They're just peanuts. There's peanuts in their shells.
Aye, but you've got
That's
to
what monkey nuts are. They're peanuts. You know that?
No.
Well, monkey nuts are peanuts. It's peanuts in their shells.
Is that why peanuts are so dear in a bag? Because they've got to employ somebody to open them? Or?
Ah, well, they've been opened and they've either been dry roasted or, and they're baked to make them slightly harder, and then they might be salted. But monkey nuts are just peanuts.
They sweet.
Did you not know that?
No.
The level of ignorance on this podcast is staggering. You've like.
Well, you
I'm
don't buy a
amazed.
bag of nuts.
You don't buy a bag of nuts?
You don't buy a bag of salted nuts and you open the packet and you've got to fucking peel them first.
No, that's done in the factory for you. But monkey nuts are just peanuts which have not been peeled and roasted. Normally they've been roasted and salted, or the flavoured nuts, you get chili and all that, and I don't know. I don't tend to eat salted nuts or anything like that. My nuts aren't salty. Right. And while we're thinking about that,
Going back to the pumpkin picking.
the pumpkin picking.
So you drive there.
A big pumpkin picking party.
Well, it was a far. It was a
Whereabouts was this farm, this pumpkin farm?
Dolphington.
Where?
Dolphington.
Dolphinton.
Aye.
Where's that?
It's between Biggar and Peebles.
Right,
No,
right.
it's between Biggar and Pennycook.
So is it set up so that you think the pumpkins are growing there or something?
Aye.
So, I mean, it's a con job.
So you So you go to the farmer's field, and they've got a barn set out, and they've got a coffee shop, pizza place, loads of hay bales. They've got all the animals roaming about. So you get a coffee, a bit of pizza, then you.
All the animals roaming about.
Aye, they've got like sheep and chickens and all that.
Right, and in the Weans, you pet the sheep and the chickens and stuff.
Well, if you get a chicken pizza, aye, but
So you're going to end up with scrapey or something. Right, these are wild animals.
And then
Well, they're
there's-
no wild.
So there's loads of hay bales at the Weans, like jump on the hay bales and all that. And then you get a tractor up to the field to pick your pumpkin. And then you come back with your pumpkin, and they put it through a gap. They've got three gaps.
They put it through a gap.
Aye, and decide if it's a large, medium, or small pumpkin. And then you pay. whatever.
According to the size.
Aye.
Right.
So it was £12 for the pumpkins. But
12 quid.
they're £1.50 in Asda. So,
Right.
so overall, it was £50 for the
50
day.
quid.
Aye.
And the Wayne's still quite young. I imagine it was kind of low stoner. I imagine she didn't really
She could have
get
been.
it.
Nah, she could have been anywhere.
Aye, you know, what's the difference? Where are we, Dad? Disneyland, shut your mouth.
Aye.
Oh, I've been to Disneyland. What's it like? Loads of pumpkins in a field. You've not been to Disneyland. Right, because it's kind of low stone, the Wayne. Maybe when the Wayne's a bit older, 7 or 8, and they maybe more cognisant to all that sort of the traditions and the bullshit and all that, then it works then. But you've wasted 50 quid. All you've done is entertained the missus. Come on, we'll go to a big pumpkin party. And she's went, ooh.
I'm going to a Halloween party
You're going to a Halloween party?
next week.
Really?
Yes.
You're joking.
It's a
Whereabouts?
It's a family tradition. I think it's Motherwell. I'm going.
It's a family tradition? I
It's-
don't think so.
No, it's Hannah's side. It's a family.
All
tradition.
right. So your wife's... Really?
They have a big. So it's no went ahead for a. I don't think that's happened since the pandemic. So they're all getting together again.
Is that right?
Aye.
And they all dress up?
They all dress up. Aye. I'm driving though. I can't be arsed.
Right.
Well, I can be arsed. I better say I can.
So
be
they
arsed.
have a Halloween party. So what
Yes.
sort of things go on at this Halloween party?
Well, I don't know. Beetlejuice
What,
ends up.
have you never been before?
No, I've never. This is my first time being invited.
Well, it's hardly a family tradition. Long have you been married?
8 years. I've never been invited. I just let her go because I'd be working. But I'm off. Especially, well, no, especially. I've just, if a gig comes in, I'll be doing it. But
Right. Right.
so
Okay.
so we're going as the Crankies.
The Crankies.
Aye.
Right. And what one are you?
I'll be Jimmy Cranky. Is he the tall one?
Jimmy Cranky's the wee one.
Oh,
Fan
no.
Dabby Dozy.
Oh, I'm not going as her.
The other one's
Hannah's
the Ian.
gone. Hannah's
Ian
gone.
Tough.
Aye, I'm
Ian
going.
and Jeanette Tough.
I'm going as him.
You're going to come. Right. I think
No.
you're hoping for too much.
I'm going as him.
Oh, you're going as him.
Aye.
Good for you. Right. The Crankies. You know they were. You know they were a bit lively. The Crankies.
Aye.
They were a bit lively back in the day.
Didn't it take Halloween for them to get dressed up?
No,
did it?
it was, well, no, that was their thing. But they would go to sex parties, not that. They would go to big pumpkin parties.
Pumping
They would-
parties.
Aye, right, by the way. They were, I mean, you looked at the Crankies, you went, I wonder what they took it up to. Woo! You wouldn't believe a half of it, man.
Mine, she fell off a beanstalk.
Did she? She was in panto. Oh, well, you don't want wee Jimmy Cranky to be injured. You know, I mean, that could have been serious.
Imagine going to the hospital, what were you doing? I was trying to go out and see the giant. That would have been hilarious, man.
Brilliant.
I was climbing up.
I know that. No, I think it's time for a break.
I was
Too
climbing-
much hilarity here.
Imagine the doctor, what did you get up to? I was climbing up a beanstalk.
Right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with some clips for our live show. But in the meantime, here's a couple of pricks talking about our sponsor, Dragon Soup.
This podcast is sponsored and supported by Dragon Soup. Now, you can get this in around 13 flavours, and
Right.
you can get it in most Glasgow convenience stores and pubs and nightclubs in the town as well.
Well, how convenient. It's a caffeinated alcoholic beverage, and I've got a peach and raspberry flavour here.
Now, thanks to Dragon Soup, because without their support, we couldn't put this content out, so thank you.
And remember, people, please drink responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage the fantastic actress that is Miss Jane McCarry.
Hello, everybody. I'll tell you a quick story when I was listening in there. So my dad, when he was 85, I came round the corner.
When he was 85?
When he was 85, I came round the corner with the shopping and he was on the roof of their house, right? On the roof.
At
and
85?
I went, 85, fixing something. And I went, Dad, what are you doing? Get down. He went, no, head, you're all right. I've got a rope tied round my waist. I've put it through that Velux window and I've tied it round your mother in the loft.
And remember, if you want to see us live, we're going to be in Falkirk and Glasgow. Now, our December show is sold out, so we've put on another show in January. So visit glesga.com and come and see us live. So the live shows are going all right, aren't they? They're good.
They are. They're going okay. They're going okay. We're selling them out. The good people of Glasgow and Falkirk are coming in their droves. But we get a lot of Falkirk people coming to the Fringe to see us.
Aye, we did.
Which was surprising.
Yeah, I get a lot of Falkirk people come to see me as well.
Yeah. There's not a lot going on in Falkirk.
There's a guy for Falkirk.
I wonder what Halloween's like in Falkirk. Do they all dress normal?
So Halloween then, what can you remember that you've dressed up as in the past?
We were poor, right? So we would dress up as a tramp, and there wasn't really any effort involved. And you would go in the doors, and they go, "What you dressed as?" I went, "A tramp." But you've got the same clothes you've always going. I says, "Well, you know how it is. It's just something I threw together." And I think they give us sweeties and fruit and peanuts and all that just because they felt sorry for us.
I dressed up as a tube of toothpaste and my mate was a toothbrush.
A tube of toothpaste and a toothbrush. What age were you then?
8.
Right.
Aye.
I mean, that cost you money to do that. What did that cost?
Well, it probably cost a bit.
That was expensive.
Aye, it was the guy I did it with, his mother arranged it all.
Right. You see, that's an indulgence we never ever had. We never had that. I know. And it was 5 years. Right. So we all went, we want to be a tube of toothpaste. I want to be a bottle of washing up liquid. I want to be this and that. And, you know, my brother, you know, Eddie, he went out as a beach ball, but that was just the shape of him. But when people did come to the door, they would have their dad's suit on, right? So they would have their dad's suit jacket and the sleeves are down to their feet, right? Or a pair of mad glasses on. I don't fucking remember. And their teeth knocked out. But I think that was a pretty permanent thing. And they go, "Ain't for Halloween, what are you dressed up as?" A bank manager." They're just wearing their old man's suit or their granny's dress or a mad cardigan. I mean, there wasn't a lot of thought went into this back in the day. You would just, on the run up to Halloween, you would, maybe 3 days before it, you go, "Right, I'll no wash for 3 days." And then get around the doors, "What are you?" "I'm a miner."
I would rather go to the fireworks on the 5th than day in for Halloween, I think.
The fireworks?
Firework night.
Yeah, they used to do that down the Glesga Green. Where, I don't know if they still do it. They still do it?
I think they do.
Light a big bonfire and then they let fireworks off.
They do that every Thursday.
Do they? Right. Aye.
It's normally somebody's motor. What about duking for apples?
We used to duke for chips. We'd have the chip pan fired up. Don't duke for chips. It's a joke. And suddenly we get people going, "I burnt the chin off myself. We're duking for chips." No, we never duked for apples.
See, I would hang out a chair with a fork in my mouth, and then you let the fork go and let it stab an apple that was bobbling in water. You never done that?
No.
So you would lean, like you would lean over.
Yeah, I know how it works, but I never done it.
You never done it?
Nah. The flare's going to end up wet. The carpet's going to end up soaked. So if you soak the carpet, you're getting a doing half your day. No, we never done that. We never done anything like that. The idea you would waste 6 apples. No.
Toffee apples, you get them?
Toffee apples. But you don't get them off a ragman. Do you remember the ragman? Did you have ragmen?
Who was that?
The ragman. You never had the ragman, a rag and bone man. The ragman. Well, what happened is, in Easterhouse in the 70s, right, there was a guy come round with a horse and cart, and he would blow a bugle, and he's a ragman, and you would go out, you know, your dad's suit's just out the pond, and you would take the suit out of the ragman, and he'd give you a balloon and a toffee apple for your dad's suit. And your dad didn't know, and the next time your dad was due up in court, he would go, where's my suit? Oh, we get it a ragman for 2 balloons and a toffee apple. Curious enough, I did some cruise ship work in the 2000s, and I was in Estonia, right? Mm-hmm. I was in Estonia, and my bag was lost at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. So I flew to Amsterdam, then flew to Tallinn in Estonia to meet this cruise ship. And what happened was my bag never made it onto the flight. So I've got no clays, get on the ship with no clays. So I took out some money in Estonia, and I went to a market in Estonia to buy clays, and it was all the same clays I'd gave the ragman in the 70s. Right, I'm no kidding. Right, and I bought this, but I bought these clays. They were horrible clays, horrible. Right, 1970s clays, a shirt with a big collar on it and flared trousers. And I went on the ship with these mad clays, and people said, who the fuck booked the Jackson 5, right? Outrageous.
That must have been difficult for you for the first few days wearing the same clays all the time.
Yeah, it was what it was. I mean, I never got my bag back to Zeebrugge. So we went down to Warnemünde, then the Zeebrugge. And Zeebrugge, the next stop was back into Southampton on the ship. So, a couple of days.
Do you know British Airways lost my bag on a direct flight from Glasgow to London City Airport?
How can you lose your bag in a direct flight? That means your bag never made it on the plane.
Never made it on the plane.
Hey.
So it was a nightmare because I was flying for an interview and I had to go and buy a suit and a shirt and everything. And then what they done then is I was coming back the next day, and instead of keeping my case, they then put the case on the London City flight, and it get taken to London, and I was already back by then.
Aye, it's murder when that happens though. I went to America once, and I mean, again, it's only going through Amsterdam. I've lost my bag 3 times, and every time I've lost the bag, it's been going through Amsterdam. So I don't know if there's something about Amsterdam where they go, wait, there's a fat guy, we'll have a look in the bag, he must have some food in there, and they're all stoned or something. But I flew to New York, man, flying to America, no clays. So I had to borrow a pair of pants off, my mate Michael. And I says, you need to lend us a pair of pants and we'll go out drinking, because these ones are cutting into me. I've been flying for a few hours, and I was 12 hours on standby, and it was horrendous. And then he went, sure, no bother, here's a pair of pants. And so 3 days later, my bag turned up, and I went, do you want your pants back? I went, if you've been wearing the same pair of pants for 3 days? And I went, well, aye. He says, fucking keep them. Yeah, honestly, they were in a bad way. They looked like the runway of JFK. But I got my bag back.
Do you know, I know somebody who every year dresses up for Halloween, right? And they go to mad parties and that, and they get a professional makeup artist to come to their house and do all their makeup and all that, and must spend a fortune instead of just doing it yourself. If
you've got the money, who cares? If you've got the money, fine. But if you've not got the money, well, that's fucking stupid.
Well, the fun in it's doing it all yourself, isn't it, though?
Fucking bullshit. Get somebody in that knows what they're doing. Behave yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Do they look good?
Aye, it looks,
I mean, do they look good?
Looks like
is this a guy or a woman?
A lassie, aye.
It's a lassie. So what does she dress up as?
The lassie at Stranger Things that's getting the hair. 11.
The
She
lassie that changed. What?
So the lassie at Stranger Things, it's good.
Right, I've never seen
You've
Stranger
never seen-
Things.
So it's basically a lassie that's in a lab or whatever, and they shave all her hair off. So she had to get that.
So she gets a mad jaggy bonnet on.
Aye, makes her bald.
Right. Well, I mean, that's devotion for you. Why you would do that, I don't know. There's clearly no lot going on in her life, but good on her.
She had blood running down her nose as well,
Right.
because that's what.
Yeah, well, she's a cokehead as well. That's a shame. Right. So, I mean, fair enough. If you've got the money, you can afford it. Personally, it's not my thing.
Have you seen any mad stuff going on in Glasgow at Halloween? No.
Well, aye, I mean, I once seen SpongeBob SquarePants kicking the absolute shite out of a one-eyed minion. But,
Wasn't Stu, was it? No.
well, no. I'm not so sure that was Halloween. See, I used to do mushrooms back in the day. So, I can't be sure. When you're an adult, you don't really. It's for Weans, isn't it? The worst part of it is you've got all these Christians and religious types all say that we're summoning up the devil and all this stuff and we're dealing with forces we don't understand. What a load of bollocks. You know what I mean? What a load of shite. If people want to dress up and get mad with it and go begging for sweeties round the doors, then it's a free world, people. It's a free world. Just don't come to my door. I've no got anything. I'll need to make you a piece of jam or something. I've not got anything in. Because there was one year, actually, I thought, well, because I was in for Halloween, I went, oh, fuck, these fuckers are going to come to my door, right? So I bought big, these tubs of sweeties, like miniature heroes and roses and all that. So I bought a couple of them to go, there you go, one for your sweeties, there's 10 bob. Right, but nobody came near. I ended up eating the 2 tins of sweeties myself.
Yeah.
And no, on the one night, it took me about a week to get through them. But oh, that's fatal, man. Right, and I put all the 10 bobs in a puggy. No peanuts and fruit. Weans don't want peanuts and fucking fruit. Who the fuck? I mean, if you've got fruit and peanuts, right, for Weans, they don't want it. They don't fucking want it. Feed it to the horses, you ball bag. Give me sweeties. Give me chocolate and money. I want chocolate and money, right? Or vouchers for downloads. You know, an Amazon shopping voucher, 50 quid voucher. We want something people want. You know what I mean? None of this bollocks. Oh, there's an apple. Fucking apple. Bounce it off your napper. Give you the next Wayne. I don't need apples. Don't want apples. I've got apples in the house. I want chocolate. Have you got chocolate? You got any crunchies in your fridge? You got any dairy milks? I want chocolate.
Crunchies, it's not the 1980s.
No, crunchies are great.
You can't.
When did you last have a crunchie?
Can you still get them?
Of course you still get them. I had one last night. Crunchies are brilliant. But they stick in your teeth.
Aye.
You know, the honeycomb sticks in your teeth and you're always picking out your teeth.
Aye.
But crunchies are great, man. Oh, man. A crunchy. And see the Cadbury's eclairs? Oh, brilliant. But I eat that many of them. My jaws get sore chewing them. But they're great. But that's what Wayne's want. They want sweeties and cans of ginger. Have cans of ginger.
You don't
in.
get cans of ginger trick or treating, man.
There's a can of ginger, a can of iron brew.
It's not a meal deal, man.
Right, no, there's a can of iron brew. There's a can of iron brew and a handful of sweeties and a pound. In fact, you wouldn't give them 50 pence in it, it'd be a pound coin.
Aye. That'd be a contactless payment. No,
That's what they, I know, the Weans knew about your door with a fucking an e-post machine. Right, I've set it for a $5, mate. Get the fuck.
That will be the case, won't it? I don't have any money in
That's getting into my child eyesight. No bother, thanks very much. I'll get it when I'm 21. You fucker, bolt your rocket. What you hear is a shafted bastard. Gee's money, you ball bag. Right, that's the problem. The Weans expect too much. You know what I mean? Here's 50 pence, put it in your piggy bank and go, what the fuck's that going to get me? Yeah, wanker. And they would throw it back at you. Yeah, you fucker. But the Weans they're totally good on them, but they seem to have a better life than I had when I was a Wayne. They seem to get everything that's going. They've all got phones, their own room, you know, streaming, downloading everything, watching all the movies. You get everything. That's amazing, man. When I was away in 3 TV channels and nobody watched BBC Two. If you watch BBC Two, you're a weirdo, right? So it was either BBC One or ITV, right? And sure, it's not known, but you made the most of it. But then again, we went out to play. We went out every day because my old man was a psycho. And if you're in the house, he'd batter you. So you were safe outside. You'd rather get battered out in the street than getting battered off your old man. What are we talking about? Anyway, the Weans, they're living the dream, these Weans now. Living the dream.
Okay, so we're going to gather all our sweet treats and head off for this episode. But before then, here's what you decided was the best clip from last week.
When Connery, Sean Connery, right, Bond, James Bond, when he came out for the Bahamas, when he came out for the Bahamas, he'd come to visit Edinburgh, all his old mates, and go, oh, look at you lot, you're still poor. I'm a millionaire now, get it up you. I'm up to Balmoral. Hey, Tom, come down to Leaf and get pissed. No, I'll be up to Balmoral. Right, and he used to stay there. Him and his missus.
Used to come back to support Scottish independence and fly back to America.
Fly back to the Bahamas. He lived in the Bahamas. Him and Richard Harris, also, you know, the actor, he lived in the Bahamas. And then he gave his house up, gave it back to the Bahamas Housing Association or something. And then he lived, Richard Harris lived in the Savoy Hotel in London for the last years of his life. I mean, how much money have these guys got?
Now, just as a reminder to visit glesgadad.com for all our upcoming live shows and give us 5 stars on whoever your podcast provider is. And please click the bell button on YouTube, as then it will let you know when we upload a new video. Now, that's all from this week. If you enjoyed it, tell your friends, but if you didn't,
fuck off. You ever been to Thailand?
no, never.
Oh, fuck, it's a third world country, man. See when you're walking along the street, these smells just jump out of you. And you're going, fucking place is bogging.
Does that come?
And you need to watch what you eat, man. I fucking shot a dozen fucking beds in my trousers and everything. Honestly, fuck, man.